Hello and welcome to episode 56 of Let's Talk Tactics. I'm your host, Ibara,
Hey, I'm Danabun.
Luck.
and we are joined this week by Leozhontai. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, How y'all doing?
Not too bad. So Leo has a YouTube channel that has featured PvP content in the past. I don't know if you're like super active on that lately or not, but we'll definitely plug that in the description below. Is that something you're still doing actively or are looking to get into more?
Yeah, I'm kind of going to do it on and off. I'm currently in school right now and got a lot of other things going on in my life, but I'm thinking about doing it, starting back up again.
Sweet. Would love to see it. Like I said, I will link that down below for anybody interested. So you can either watch the old stuff or get ready for the new stuff. But as a guest on the show, and being your first appearance, we're going to ask you our normal set of 3 questions here. So just kind of get to know you for the viewers. How did you get started with the Final Fantasy franchise? Like, what's your history with it? What brought you into War of the Visions? And then once you were in War of the Visions, kind of what made you gravitate towards live PvP, like focusing on that? Because I'm assuming that kind of is your focus.
Well, I've been starting playing Final Fantasy since I was a kid. Before my father died, he left me with Final Fantasy 4 on a Super Nintendo. So it took me a while to learn how to play that. It took me to around like when I was in around 5th grade. It was a long summer, and I spent time and playing Final Fantasy 4, and I just fell in love with it. Ever since then, I just been playing every single other Final Fantasy, and then I got into one Christmas. For a Christmas present, I got Final Fantasy Tactics for the Game Boy Advance, and from there, it was just history. I love Final Fantasy Tactics. Um, so when I saw the War of the Visions, and it was basically another Final Fantasy Tactics, you know, inspired title, I just jumped on it, man. I just been rocking with it. And ever since then, I always wanted to like kill other people, so that's why I've been playing. I'm sorry if I did by y'all. Like I'm sorry. I know a lot of people see me in free matches, and sometimes I be trolling people. There's times where I just use straight MR units, SR units, and I just see if I could beat some of y'all, and some of y'all know I did. So I'm sorry if I pissed y'all off.
Oh, that's so good. I just want to kill people. It's so good.
I still
I just
remember
do
your
it.
Final
I like
Fantasy.
Yeah, I love it.
Your
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 4 team. I still remember getting beat by that like last Christmas or something.
I was about to ask you, yeah, so I'm assuming you got just all of the Final Fantasy 4 stuff when it came out, all the units maxed out, and
Pretty much, I got all the Final Fantasy 4s. I played pretty much every single Final Fantasy title. Um, I'm kind of waiting for certain Final Fantasy titles to get remade before I play it again because I feel like I like to go hard in some Final Fantasy titles. So if I know there's like a glitch where you could just be overpowered right away, I kind of lose interest. But I'm just here for the journey. I just love Final Fantasy as a whole. The whole aspect of like the Warrior of the Light and the crystals, and see what every story takes place and what the problem is. I'm here for it.
sweet. A true fan. I know some people are like, oh, I just love, 7 and 9. Or other people are like, tactics, that's all I like, and that's why I'm here. But you're just like, boom, whole franchise.
FF4 is my favorite.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right, so this week we're gonna flip things up, because it could end up being a longer primary topic, and maybe we should just do this in general, because I don't want to kind of fall back into the comfort zone of just doing news stuff. So we're actually gonna start with class match stuff, which is the main topic here, and then we'll probably just talk about Ibara and the raid item, and then we'll leave the EXs to mention next time. So with that, let's hop right into class match discussion. I'm going to start, and then I'll pass it off to one of you guys. Because my my section is unfortunately a little shorter than it should be. So I had a lot of family stuff happen over the weekend. Not like bad stuff, just a lot of commitments for holiday season stuff. So I actually played no matches on Saturday or Sunday. And then yesterday and today, I've had some work stuff come up where I had to work very long hours, and I missed yesterday as well. So there are 3 days of no matches for me. And I started off with mono ice on last Wednesday. Went in with, it was Curry, Oron, and Aranea. Really fun team. Could handle evade stuff decently because everybody had some kind of sure hit. I could chain people up. I had Keenblade on Aranea, so I was able to kind of navigate most matchups. But at the same time, kind of a little weaker against the like Jaden teams because they could outrange me. Their range is better than my range. Although I did have a match where Curry killed Jaden in a 1-on-1 for the win.
Nice.
He was already weakened, but we're gonna still count it as a win for the Toad Boy. So that was nice. I went 5-0 on day one, but the next 2 days were not so fortunate for my mono ice teams. I switched it up a little bit here and there. I tried bringing in. I think I had Barrett at one point. I was trying, and I think I went 2-3 both days on Friday or on Thursday and Friday. And honestly, man, I couldn't see the mono ice working. At least not in the same way. So I think on day 3 I brought out OG Zazan with Gilgamesh and Aranea, and I just tried to be degenerate. So I had the Keenblade going, I had Charm going, we had the just crazy high agility, like Gilgamesh lapping people, and that was pretty fun. But Gilgamesh has some of his own sort of weaknesses, especially with the like Katone teams out there. Katone, UR Zazan evade stuff with their own OG Zazan. Granted, he is pretty good with his anti-charm buff. That was pretty important, and he does have natural stop resistance, so in that way he lined up well, but definitely struggled a lot. So when I came back, though, I was out for blood. We switched to Jaden, Elena, and OG Zazan, and it's a pretty fun team. There's a lot of paths to take depending on who your opponent is and where they start with what buffs you can do ahead of time, and it's a pretty versatile team. Pretty fun. I'm not great at it yet, though. I think there's a lot of nuance playing Jaden and Elena because they have so many options. Like knowing which one to go for has been a little tough, but that will be what I play tonight for my last 5 matches. And we'll see how it goes, but definitely have not had the greatest class match this time around. I have, however, only faced Cheeseblade twice, and I beat it twice. So the first time the Mono Ice team tanked out Halloween Leela because I had like Fenrir and stuff, and they just couldn't kill me. And the other time I got a Magic Reflex on Jaden and an Evasion on Elena for one of the hits. So I turned around, killed Halloween Leela, killed Ildira, and then, killed Stern, killed Halloween Leela, and just chased Ildira down. So killing the bad guy, the boogeyman of the format. But we are going to jump in. Let's talk to Leo over here. So how's your class match gone? I see it's going pretty well. So
yeah, it's going pretty well. I lost 3 times during class match. My first loss was it was actually kind of funny. It got me a little mad at first. I ain't gonna lie to you, but my first match I lost. I lost to a guy who charmed my Elena first turn. He used Zazan, and to me, I feel like these class matches is mostly about positions, and he just got the jump on my Elena, and my Elena literally just ran around and killed my whole team, and I couldn't do and I couldn't do nothing about it until basically it was basically 3 against 1, and she tried to fight it out, but I got hit with some sure hit abilities, and it was game over from there. But for the most part, I try to build my team a little differently. I did use Elena, Engelbert, and Fina, but I try
Okay.
to build my Elena a little bit differently from majority people. I like to use my favorite equipment right now on Elena is the AP down equipment. I think it was the 3 6-star ring or something like that. But I like to use the AP cost down because I feel like if she don't have enough AP, then she basically kind of useless. She's just sitting there, just auto attack, and everybody know who play Elena. And the auto attack doesn't do a lot, so I like
no.
to. Yeah, she only do like 200 damage. So I was like, nah, I don't really like to go to a full evade, but I make sure I like to have a lot of accuracy on my characters because I know a lot of people gonna run evade. And then with Fina, I built my Fina a little differently. I didn't put no defense or no spirit equipment on my Fina. I just put an Alexandrite ring. I put Rosa Bow and a zombie mask, and I was just
Oh, there
raining
you
down on people. So every time people I see these evade people come, they think Fina's not gonna hit them. Oh, I hit them. So,
Oh,
so- and then my Engelbert, I just let him do his Keen Blade, and I took away his long range moves so he could use Immortal Spirit and the hate buff, and hopefully he just take uh as much punishment as he can. And then I put on Night Sub Job so I could probably slow down the enemies with Speed Break, and that I just kind of just wing it after that. I was just hoping for the best. It's mostly about position this class match because it's kind of hard fighting against light versus light, or you know, when you have certain characters, it's really kind of hard because getting through Engelbert is gonna be very tough. That's why I'm kind of glad that well, we're gonna go to another segment, but I'm I'm kind of glad though that we have some new mages coming around. So yeah, so it's gonna be a little bit more different, and everybody just throwing up light, and Engelbert just walling everybody. So
any stories of the? Because I think what we're gonna find out momentarily is that Cheeseblade is kind of a thing. What were your experiences with that, or if you had any, or maybe you dodged it, and kind of how you dealt with it?
well, personally for me, I do auto battles. I do straight
No.
auto battles. Yeah. Okay, so there's a time I did manual battles,
Hmm.
but it took too long because people just camp out for the longest in the back. I didn't really care for it too much. So I went from like doing manual battles to start doing more auto battles. Um, but personally for me, like the cheese blade strategies, I either try to do one or two things. You're either gonna build a evade for it, where you're gonna have enough evade where they have to at least do two buffs because they can't hit you, or you're gonna have to build defensively where you're gonna have to stack up you know your defenses up and your spirit and defense, and hopefully they can't reach you and just kill you by the time it's your turn. But that's only two ways I know how to beat it personally from the past, because I used to play I don't know if y'all remember when Ruin Stern and Dira, and that was in that one map. I used to do
Yep.
I used to play around that time. I used to do straight Final Fantasy 4 characters. So I used to build my characters to defend against that for at least one turn. Um, and if they survive, then we can counter. But if you can't survive it, it's annoying. It's annoying strategy. I ain't gonna lie to you on that. Like,
Yeah,
it's a known strategy. But
for
yeah, I
sure.
just try to stay away from the starting point on the maps, trying to stay away from majority because I check out what other people are putting their characters at mostly, and I try to that's how I try to get my win streaks high, because I try to see what majority people are doing, and then trying to I can't counter everybody, but you can counter the majority. So that's my strategy. Go from there, and then just make luck be as it's gonna be luck from there.
That's fair. So actually, I guess a slight sidebar now. As somebody, you're mentioning a lot about positioning and sort of that being really important for live PvP. Does it ever bother you watching the AI not do it and like kind of make you want to go back to it, or are you like how did you? Can you talk a little bit more about the decision to move to auto?
Yeah. So the AI, it bothers me sometimes, but it doesn't bother me too much because I know what my AI gonna do. It's to me, I think of it more like what Final Fantasy game was it? Final Fantasy 12, I think, where you had to customize your AIs, and I know the AIs got certain priorities over I know like more AOE team buffs got more priority over probably single team buffs unless you're counting bells. So I try to turn off certain things. To me, I at least try to leave two moves on for TP skills on, because you can't put everything all your moves on. So
Right.
um I try to see what the character. First of all, I try to see what the character, like when a new character get released. I try to see what a character gonna prioritize over, because there's some characters that don't really prioritize builds. They'll prioritize, like for instance, if you have Cloud but you're near your teammates, he's gonna probably prioritize his AP critical up move, and attack buff or whatever. And so I try to see what the characters do first. Same thing with Fryevia. When I used to use Fryevia a lot. I see when she get hurt and you get to a certain health, she use more heals over
Kurata.
everything else.
Kurata. Curata.
Yeah, exactly. So I see what they do first. Like that's why I do a lot of free matches because I think even though some people think I'm just in there free matches all day long, but to me it's like it, it's how I test my builds with certain characters and see what characters work good with other characters. So I do I see what bus they prioritize first, and then I go from there. From there on in, it's just to me it got easy. It got so easy that I kind of prefer doing auto battle because to me it's just it's to me it's like a chess game. You
Sure.
know, that's just how I play the game. It's just to me it's like a chess game. Like I got really used to it because of Helena. You know, everybody had the time when Helena was just dominating everybody. So yeah, I used to love killing people who use Helena.
That's not.
Fuck the meta. No, I was
Exactly.
all right, thank you. So all right, Daniel or Locke, who wants to go next?
I also have a kind of a short one, so I'll go
All
next.
right,
Let's
we'll
go
go
with Locke.
Daniel then. All right.
I love the chess reference, by the way. That's how I always play too. Um, so yeah, kind of similar to Prodigy. Last week for me was like exam week. I'm also in school, and yeah, it was rough. So Wednesday, I just forgot. Like I logged in. There was like 20 minutes to do my battles. I didn't have any time to prep or anything. So I just threw a team together, and I was like, man, I gotta change it to auto. And obviously, without any kind of preparation or anything, just throwing them in, it's not going to be that great. So I think I went like 1-4 that first day, but that was from like trying different auto teams or whatever. Um, Thursday, I think I also went like 1-4 just from like fucking around, trying different teams. It's been a rough month, you guys. Please forgive. Um, but I finally, like, Friday came around, exams were over, and I was like, all right, it's go time. And I threw together a win team. Because Halloween Little Leila is cost 70, so I played Corwell, 2B, and Halloween Little Leila. I think I went like 4-1, and Saturday I just kind of decided that Catone was better than Corwell. Just being able to get off stops and drain forces, and she dodges way better than he does. He was kind of dying way too much for my comfort level, so once I switched to Catone, it was Catone, obviously Halloween Little Leela, 2B. I pretty much went on like a 3-day like winning streak. I got shut down like my last game against Troby from Visivore. That was like yesterday, I think. No, the day before, something like that. But so lost once, had to build up my streak, and then today I'm hoping to win all 5 after we're done recording, so that I can just barely squeak into Plat 1. So because that way, otherwise it's the difference between like starting in Plat 3 and Plat 2. So
Sure,
we'll see what
sure.
happens. But yeah, it's been a pretty enjoyable run once I got serious with it. I haven't really struggled too much. There's been a few like really awesome games. I just barely won against my Jin, and obviously got beat by Troby. I think I barely won against Sumi as well. So shout out to all you guys that obviously I ran into, and everyone that's doing well so far. Um, uh, the evade is kind of helping. I haven't actually run into any cheese blades, so I guess I lucked out on that match. That like aspect. What
I
about you,
think
Luck?
I was gonna say real quick, sliding in. Then sorry, Locke, we'll go to you. Midgen, you mentioned. That was probably one of my favorite. That's probably my favorite match I've had. During the whole thing was we had a ice mirror. I called it an ice mirror. I was cheating a little bit. I had OG Zealous on it at the time, but it was Gilgamesh and Aranea versus this Valentine Salir. Oh shit! Now I'm gonna forget the units. Valentine Salir. I think he didn't also have Aranea though. Oh shit! Now I gotta look at the ice units. I thought I had this in my head, and I don't. It's weird.
When I fought him, he had RNA, Victor, I think, and
Barrett. He had Barrett at the time. Because
okay.
I remember he mentioned it was fun to use Barrett because he hadn't
You
done that
guys
yet.
and your ice teams.
Yeah,
Your
right.
ice roster.
Yeah, so Yeah. Valentine, Soler, Barrett. That's 90-90, right? So that's 180 points. So what do you have left after that? 50, I
50
guess.
left.
Did he have
Curry?
Curry? I think he had Curry then, yeah. Well, either way.
Yeah.
Or did he also have Zaza? I don't remember. Whatever. It was a good match. It was really good back and forth. We had very similar play styles and very
Nice.
similar units, and I barely got it. It was like the whole one unit left, hitting the thing. So anyway, shout out to Midgen, my ice bro.
Yeah, your ice bro. I forgot to mention, I started out like those first couple days, like I just didn't really take it as seriously as I should have. I threw together like Elena, Jaden, and Zazan, like the OG Zazan, like the team that you mentioned. I just got countered hard. I was like, fuck this, I'm switching. Yeah.
Fair.
That will do it to you.
All right, Locke. Sorry.
So I played 15 matches and then gave up because of too many cheese blades. So actually, I stopped playing after the first 3 days. Like I played
Oh no.
Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I just stopped. I don't know. It's just really frustrating and like just being like I don't know. I mean, most of my losses, like I got 5 losses and 4 of them were like cheese blade in like 3 days. And I don't know. I mean, not only is it frustrating, I'm like I thought of like other things that I could do to like overcome it. Like one of them is like having a very high speed Gilgamesh with Keenblade and have Zazan next to him, so that because there is like a very small difference uh in CT, right? When before Halloween Leela takes a second turn, basically I would use that small time frame to go and charm them. But if I was playing this like against other teams, like non-cheeseblade teams, this is a really like stupid team to play against, right? Because I'm basically playing a turn one charm before they have a chance to do anything, and like I don't really want to play that. So it's like it was just like all around frustrating. I'm like I could also play cheesy teams to beat these cheesy teams, but I don't really want to do that. Um, so and I mean, there are also like other things like I could have done like play all ice, but I don't really have such a strong ice.
Watch your
roster,
mouth here. Don't you talk
I
your
mean,
shit.
no, I just don't have them. Like I don't even have Valentin Soler maxed out. She's just 99. I only have Victora. I don't really have anyone else that's like. Well, I have Gilgamesh, I guess. We'll get Gilgamesh, Victora, and then I have to figure out something. But yeah, it was just really frustrating, and like I mean, because we've talked for like a long time, we talked like for a year. You guys know like kind of my playstyle as well. Like when everyone was farming, when the game started, and everyone was like spending so much time and energy farming, I'm like, yeah, I'll just go with a +2 because I don't want this game to become like work, right? Like I want the game to be fun too. If it's not fun, I don't really want to like force myself to play it just because I want to do something. So I'm like, yeah, this is just not fun. This is frustrating, and I don't want to play these other cheesy comps to like fight these cheesy comps or something. And so I was just like, I'm just going to not play. Um, like something else I could have done is just like auto, because I mean I have to lose like 4 matches to 1 win to like stay stalemate, right? So probably I've gained points that way, but it's not about the points. It's just that I wasn't having fun, so I don't like I didn't see a need to force myself to keep playing when I'm obviously not having fun, right? So and also, I was like really, really burnt out from the discussion from last time Cheeseblade popped up, and so I like I didn't want to talk about it really. I was just like, yeah, this is it. I'm done. So
Yeah, honestly, like if you guys don't mind me weighing in for a moment,
Yeah.
there's I know that like you were like feeling fatigue about it because there was too many people condoning it and not enough people like deploring it, and really that's why we deplore like like specifically the cheese blade strategy, because it literally makes people stop playing the game, if not just like the like live PvP, auto PvP, whatever. Um, it's not really viable in auto PvP unless you I don't know, you really get your shit together. But
Hey man,
yeah, so
I've died to auto
we've
Cheeseblade
heard
before.
like yeah, we've heard like endless, I don't know endless, but we've heard enough discussion about like whether it's a viable strategy or not, blah blah blah. But like really, when it comes down to like the health of the live PvP community, it's like, well, you're basically sacrificing that in the name of like winning and getting points, and so it's not really great sportsmanship. And for the people that are using it, I'm not trying to flame you personally, but it just fucking sucks to lose people in the community. So yeah, it sucks that like you haven't like really had any interest in class match since like Friday or whatever. I'm sorry to hear that.
And uh, there's also like so the last time we played, like, I mean, the thing is like I feel like a lot of people have changed their opinions since the last time I talked about it. But the last time I talked about it, if most people said something like, you know what, like cheese bait sucks, but I want to win, like, a lot of people are using it, and the best defense against cheese blade is cheese blade. If people actually said that, I feel like it sucks, but it's a little bit more justified than saying that cheese blade is a valid tactical strategy, which is what a lot of people said that time, and that like really pissed me off because I don't see that as any kind of tactics whatsoever, right? Um, and I mean, I talked about this in the chat as well, like I think 2 days ago or something, but because people like people was like varying opinions, right? Like if most people said, you know what, it sucks, but I just want to win, then everyone kind of like the whole community kind of agrees that it sucks. Then we can actually like say as a community we all agree it sucks, and maybe we could have done something. Like we could have reached out to good. I don't know. I don't know if they would have actually done anything. I have no idea. But we could have tried. Maybe not, right? but we could have tried. But because people actually said no, this is actually valid. This is needed, or I don't even know. But because of that, I can't be like, well, I speak for the community, and we need to know. I can't do that because the community is fractured, right?
Yeah.
We don't agree on it. So I don't know, man. Like it's just really frustrating to also like deal with that. And also, I mean, I saw some people, that defended it, and then they switched time slots because they're like, yeah, I'm facing cheese blade too much, and I'm like, well, I thought this was okay with you, so why is switching time slots to avoid it, right? But I don't know, man. I feel like I feel like there was a person who actually believed Cheeseblade was good, and I think people didn't want to hurt his feelings, so they didn't like say this is stupid, you know, whatever, right?
Show me to the chat
It's
log.
what
No,
happened back then. it's what happened back
yeah.
then.
I
Yeah,
do have
it's
to say
Yeah,
something about the cheese based strategy. I think it's only gonna be around for I say for the next couple updates. When the updates with the TMRs and um the enhancement for the TMRs, I think it's gonna really change the gameplay of a lot of things because I see the increase of the HP is gonna be skyrockets, and then everybody could put on like AOE resistances, and just to counter those. Because right now I know that probably people are probably using probably maybe like a character like Ruinstern where he could probably hit for maybe 7k, and most characters can't get around 7k HP or something like that. So I feel like once the TMR and the double VCs come out, he's gonna get a little stronger, but at the same time we could be able to better prepared for certain strategies around that, like AoE resist, slash resist, um, put on max HP. And so it's gonna be around for a little bit, but I don't feel like it's gonna be around for that much longer. I know it's frustrating. That's why another reason why I also stopped playing manual so much, because like it just to me got kind of just a little bit boring, a little stale, when everybody was just trying to see who's faster than who, and use King Blade to hazard slash or whatever, and just wipe out what 2 or 3 people, and you only can use certain characters because only certain characters can survive the initial onslaught before you could counter it. So it is going to get a little irritating, but I feel like the developers are putting the double VCs and the TMRs because a lot of people are going to be using different TMRs when that drop. Especially me, I'm going to be using all sorts of nonsense that people are going to be mad and taking snapshots and screenshots.
The
I
fuck
love
is
that
this
too,
shit?
Tamar.
Already prepared for it. I already know what I'm going to be doing, but I feel like it's gonna enhance the gameplay a lot more because it's gonna make the PvP a lot more interesting because not everybody's gonna build their characters a certain way. Some people want to go max evasion. I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm not. I'm going straight accuracy because I already know everybody can be going for evasion, so I might do a little of both. But we're gonna see how it turns out. How the because not only that, the global meta is a little bit different from Japan meta, and we got a little bit different characters with global buffs, and it's gonna be something when that drops.
Actually, wait. So you haven't seen the cheese blade that people are using right now for this class match?
Personally, no.
So they're actually using Halloween Lolila as the carry. Because with her EX, she has the 5+2 range AoE. So turn 1, it doesn't really matter where you are, she can just smack you. So she gets the double turn, she chains on herself and hits your entire team basically, almost no matter where you spawn. I think there might be a weird spot in the corner that like maybe you get lucky, but I actually don't think it's. But if you do that, then she just gets to poison mist and also get in range. So like it's really hard to get away from, and because she's 120 now, she smacks people. But that's why Mono Ice is a counter.
Is probably using a faster character, initial Kingblade, faster character, probably like Gilgamesh or something like that, or somebody even faster than Gilgamesh. I don't know who's probably
so
Stern.
because of the cost, it has to be Stern, yeah.
Probably.
So it's max speed Stern, but
yeah. So yeah, that sucks because that kind of just traps people and want to use a certain character, a certain build, and that's not fun. When you have to use a certain character and a certain build to
Right.
counter, you know, that's just. I see why he got frustrated. He's just saying, yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't blame you. That's why I went straight to auto. Like, I like to use a lot of different characters. I didn't build all these characters not to just use one particular
Right?
strategy. That don't make you want to log in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I really relate to that and that you just said. Like you don't always see me at the top of the CM ranks because I don't always use double quicken or like keen blade or like the meta units or whatever. I want to play the teams that I have fun playing. Like that's why like I'm not using keen blade this time. Everybody is using keen blade and Knight's Blessing, you know. But like just like Locke, like if I'm having fun with it, then that's where I want to be, you know.
Also, I want to get oh sorry. Nope.
You can go ahead if you want.
I was gonna
I'll
bring up
go ahead.
I was gonna pivot, so it's on you.
Okay, so I actually want to touch on what Leo just said. That's actually the reason why I stopped playing. It's not. I'm not boycotting so that it changes because I stopped playing because I'm like a lot of changes is coming in like the 2-year anniversary. Like I've seen like the 2VC stuff is coming and the TMR stuff is coming and all that. So I expect it to be like a totally not a completely different game, but like substantially different. And I want to be excited at that point, right? So if I'm like forcing myself to play and I'm like not having fun, I might not actually make it to that point. I might just get bored of the game. But by actually stopping, because I'm like, you know what, like I just need to like hang on until that comes. So I'm like logging in, I'm doing my dailies, I'm like collecting wiz from the dailies present and all that stuff. By like I'm not forcing myself to play this game even if I'm not having fun, to make sure I have an opportunity to actually enjoy it later. That's the reason why I stopped. Like I'm most likely like future matches that are to cheese blade before the 2nd anniversary, most likely I'm probably not gonna play unless like I don't know some other global EX unit comes with like a turn one one turn debuff to everybody and no CT manipulation or something like that would like totally fix this, right?
Like an
Would
Oberon
also fix
TMR,
the
but for
turn
CT
one.
in general, yeah.
Well, I mean, ultimately it
Something
comes
like
down
that,
to the
but-
map range, you know.
The map it plays a big part.
This is
You know,
just
it's
a small enough map.
I feel like it's gonna come because when everybody was using haste and all that stuff, then we got Oberon who can nullify haste. I feel like the CT change is probably gonna come with but it's gonna probably come with a TMR. Like it's gonna probably be a stronger unit where probably you can't use CT changes in the first couple turns or something.
Be sick.
I think that
That
would
would be awesome.
definitely, a lot of people definitely gonna be using that because that would definitely change the gameplay a lot.
It'd be cool if
Alright,
it was like
Dustin.
either a passive they turn on or
Alright.
like they have like almost like an EMP field around them. Like if you're within that range, you can't use any CT like whatever manipulation
Yeah.
stuff. That'd be interesting.
Nah,
Like
fuck
an aura.
that. The whole map.
Whole
The whole
map.
Yeah,
Or
that
like
would be dope. That would
or
really.
like
Mm.
has resistance to damage from units who have had their CT manipulated in the last 3 turns or something,
Oh.
or something weird like that.
Or
Gumi
maybe,
programming.
or maybe it could be even a counter. Like I don't know. Maybe we have like a strong counter. And I don't know what type of counter it's gonna be, but maybe we could have one of those counters where somebody activates something. Maybe you have a 50% chance to steal their own CT buff or something. That would be crazy. I
Or
mean, they
like
could
just
do
the
whatever.
CT sponge.
I
Yeah,
mean, yeah,
That
you
is
got
interesting.
Celeste like doing her absorbing stuff. I mean, it's
see,
possible.
I'd
yeah,
laugh if
that's the start.
they code it to be like, oh yeah, any CT changes within whatever gives a debuff, and then it's coded such that them gaining CT naturally from agility activates the debuff. No, I want to get your guys' opinion here. So I think a portion of why I enjoyed this less, besides just like dealing with, I personally didn't have to deal with Cheeseblade a lot, but the map in general, I'm not a huge fan. Um, the removal of the AP crystals has been painful. Like I never like I knew the impact of it, right? Like we often spawn based on the position of the crystals. We fight over the crystals. But more importantly, I think they allow different teams to be viable because you either can ignore bells or you can use multiple units that are very AP hungry because you have bells on this one character and then you're going to collect the crystal on the other and you get more of that play. You can play around the heals. And I think removing that really just pissed me off and I'm not enjoying it as much. Like there's no positional play around those and I think that's hugely impactful build wise. I just want to get your guys' thought on that. And I actually, before I pass it off to you, the thought I had after that is that it incentivizes you to use units like Elena or like Elena who starts with more AP or like other mages or units with AP cost reduction down. Like if like you could argue, yeah, it's cool because like this meta will be different. But the problem is, I think it's a change moving forward that we just don't have the crystals. It's not just like this map or like this time to try to make it interesting or something. It's just a blanket change, which I think is kind of a poor decision. But Leo, what are your thoughts on that?
So my thoughts on it, I feel like now this is just what I'm thinking in my head. I feel like the removal of the crystals, it affects manual players, but I feel like a lot of people is complaining on auto. That's why it's affecting a lot of manual players because basically what was going on is, let's say if I'm using a character like Zazan, the 100 cost Zazan, instead of attacking the enemy when he gets to a low health, he'll run to the crystal, even though he's in range to attack to the enemy. You know, and I feel like some people probably lost a lot of those matches because of that. The AI wasn't, being, real good about it, and they probably complained to the developers. Developers probably changed the crystals out of the game, and that's just my thought because that happened to
Remove the
me before.
crystals. Don't reprogram the AI. Oh,
Exactly.
what a change. Oh,
I mean, it's
spark
probably
plug's not
easier for them
working.
to
Pull him out
remove
of
the
the
crystals.
car. It's just like fucking hell.
Yeah, it does suck because I used to like the crystals and too in certain maps. But I know when you're playing on auto, the crystals kind of could be a little funky about it
Yeah.
because there's some times where you could just kill the opponent right out, and then instead he'll run to like 3 or 4 crystals, and then he'll get killed in the meantime without doing nothing, and it's just like, what the fuck? Oh, sorry, excuse my language,
Nah,
but
you good. You
yeah,
good.
but it's just like, yeah, what the heck? But yeah, it's gonna suck for man players though. I do feel like people complain about it, and they got enough complaints where they probably changed it, and then that's why we haven't been seeing on crystals in a while. But what can you do?
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's not even a joke. That is my thought on it. Like, really, you're gonna remove the crystal instead of just changing the AI to prioritize based on like, hey, if you can win the match, do damage instead. If you can't win the match, buff and grab the crystal or do damage. Like, they need to buff or they need to change AI to do hit and run strats. Like, not necessarily like perfect spacing, but like if you can do taunting blade on Zazan and then go grab the crystal, like I don't understand why that's so hard to code because I've seen what you're talking about where they'll just run to the crystal and do nothing Because I've had my AI opponents do that before, and they don't buff even. They don't buff if they don't have something to do on destination. They won't attack before moving. It's bizarre how poorly that is coded. So I can definitely see that being a problem, but the solution being just take it out just seems absolutely absurd to me. If that is the case. But in wait, what's that? Oh, sorry. I thought I heard something in the background. Locke, I know you and I talked about this a little bit last episode. What are your feelings now about it? Especially after having such a shit experience.
Well, I only had a few matches on there, but it hasn't really changed. I do miss the crystals, um, and I also had to rethink who I was going to use because of it. Um, Actually, there was like a match early on, so I was using like King Mont. So I changed it from what I said before. I was like, I think I'm going to redo what I did last CM and use Jaden, Crowell, and Mont. So I didn't go with that team. I instead went with King Mont, Baron, and Zazan, like the regular Zazan. And I remember like in the very first turn, I had King Mon do something, and the enemy approached right away, and I'm like, yeah, I can't do anything. Like I can't do the berserk because he doesn't have enough AP. So right away I missed it. Like I think it was like the second or the very second match I played the CM. So I think it's a poor tactical choice to remove it. Like one of the best CM maps I've ever played was that like rising platforms with like on the four corners of the platforms there was the crystals, and I think the crystals made that map so enjoyable for manual play. Like if the crystals weren't there, I could see so many more players just um, like camping in the corners, the very end of the corners. And so I think just having the crystals there, it just made it so much fun, and it was like one of the best CMs I ever played. But crystals made that map. So removing that crystals, yeah, I think it's just a poor tactical decision. I don't think they should have done that. We are kind of at the whims of the developers, I guess. Right? So
Like, granted, it's healing down, so like the healing on the crystals wouldn't even be that much, but um, because it does seem to be a blanket solution in all rule sets, that's why I think it's a problem. But Daniel, how are you feeling about that?
So I know, like, as like game developers, you don't want to get your player base used to asking about decisions you make. But I really wish that they would give us some idea why they moved in this direction. Because it doesn't seem to be a very popular choice. But I'm not sure how much of an echo chamber we have right now.
Live
I'm
PvP
s-
server is a little echoey often,
uh,
but so we have to
like
take that grain of salt. But
most of what I've heard is that like it's
yeah,
not a good change. I was trying to decide what the difference is between having crystals, like the CMs that had crystals versus without. I think the biggest difference is that like hyper carry double quicken teams are the least affected by it. So because they're the least affected, they stand to gain the most by
sure,
not having them. And I just think that that's kind of a disservice to the live PvP mode.
yeah.
Yeah, it just sucks that they're not transparent about a lot of things. But yeah, we like Leo said, we just kind of have to um, kind of get used to it, I guess. I don't know how long of a stretch we're looking at. It's like we're crossing a desert with not enough water or something. We're just gonna be
It's just
like
like I have no idea how
dying of
distant the
thirst.
future.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully we don't get too parched to lips and
we're,
dehydrated and shit before.
we're gonna get to a point where we see a mirage, and the mirage
It's like,
is
oh, nice.
a class match is released where the crystals are there, and then they're gonna after the first window they're gonna be like, sorry guys, I was supposed to be there, and remove them,
Oh
and the mirage goes away.
no. Or like JP gets the map with them, but like we don't for whatever reason. Fucking mirages.
Oh man, yeah, I hate that mirage. I hate the mirage ability. Jeez, this is consistent, right?
I was trying
Yeah.
to bring it around to
Yeah,
that.
I fucking hate that skill, man. Um, oh jeez. All right, so I guess I mean I don't mean to be so negative, but I mean there's issues and we gotta bring it up. Not that
So yeah,
I don't know if our reach is gonna bring us that far enough to change anything, but Yeah.
So I don't know if you guys knew, but apparently we're looking at least I guess a couple more class matches of no crystals. So make sure to keep that in mind. I'll definitely try to keep you updated with what the map conditions and parameters are like. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
But does anybody have any other notes on this class match that they want to bring up now? Otherwise, we'll move in. Like I said, we'll talk about Ibara, and then also the winter coat. All right.
Good on these matches.
Let's start with the winter coat. So last year, a lot of people, especially those who were evade account centric, were really looking forward to a particular item that never came. We had the opportunity and the timing, but it just didn't show up. So that is the winter coat from the snow. Is it snow flan or winter flan? I don't even know what the name of it is necessarily, but the white
Holy-
flan raid. Oh, it's holy flan. Okay, every other I picked all the wrong words. But anyway, it's an evade item with 29 flat evade and 10 on passive as a cloth piece. So it's a strict upgrade from Sage's Hat if you use a Sage's Hat for evasion. And I believe I can say strict because every other stat is higher too, the HP, spear, everything. So yeah, it's here. Who's excited? Who thinks it's still gonna be the best item? I mean, there's nothing better, right? Like, there's nothing better than this except for like ribbon for utility. But even then, like evasion wise, this is the best thing. So, I guess not for heavy armor users, but
Can
I think
remember
you guys-
chat anyways.
that
Oh,
was
go ahead.
no,
No, no,
Leo. No, Leo, you always first.
I do gotta say one thing though about the raid equipment. It's gonna make I'm kind of glad it didn't come out first, personally. Like when it did, I felt like it was a little bit too powerful. When it first initially came out, and around that time we had the dark meta, and the dark meta was dominating. Like then you had the Venera. If Venera was equipping that, the raid equipment would have been Venera for months. It would have been nonstop, and it had light. I think it had light resist on it, right?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, that would have been would have had some sad days. Everybody would have been frustrated with it. So I'm kind of glad it didn't come, but at the same time, I'm glad now that it is coming. Because I feel like it's gonna make some characters that wasn't really evading, have the potential to evade. One character that comes into mind is when we have Thinker EX. Thinker EX, he got pretty decent luck, so he might be able to evade and do certain things that he wasn't normally meant to do. But that's just my thought on it. I'm kind of glad it didn't come until it did now.
Are you
But I'm
gonna
just
build
glad
any other versions of it?
I'm gonna build two versions of it. I'm gonna build I always go for one of evade, and I'm probably gonna build what's the other version? Barrier or something like that?
There's
Or
the shield, which is a 10-11 split and vital, but
I can shield.
damn, nah, you built two dodge. What the heck? You're gonna build another version?
Yeah, I gotta do two because I like to do a little. I like to experiment a little bit.
I guess that's fair. Daniel, you look disgusted. Daniel.
I can't justify doing any other type, honestly. Like it's meant to be like I'm so fucking sick of like the three different types where like two of them are just like obsolete and you would never build them. Like it's like the shit that they pull in the shops where like they charge you way too much Visior for stuff that you wouldn't normally buy. So like they trap you like you click it by accident or something. You're like you're out like thousands of Visior. This is like one of those traps. Like man, don't fall for that like vital trap or like this hybrid like defense and spirit shit. Like it's obviously a dodge item. And there's other stuff where like you're not gonna build a magic like fucking engine blade or whatever Like, get out of here with that shit. Just like, why would they think we would do that? It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I don't know if disgusted is the right word, but it just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, the difference would be if they actually made it useful, right? Like, what if the vital version had like 800 HP, and instead
Yeah,
of
it's
having
gotta be
like
worth
2
it.
defense and 5 spirit and 7 evade, it had like 15 evade. So you still have a reasonable like 25 evade. It's like halfway there, and there's a lot of HP, so it's actually like that'd be like maybe a Katone alternate item. A lot of HP and evasion.
It's
Cool.
like, to me, it seems like it's a remnant of like the old equipment system
Mhm.
that they just never updated.
Like, I
The
guess
way
we got to
that they
make this other
updated
version.
the way they updated, like, it's so much easier to make +5s now, but like they never updated this old like archaic bullshit.
Or like if defensive
92
spirit was like
cents.
15-15. Like maybe that
Something,
would be
yeah.
enticing. Because then you have a little bit of evasion, you got the light resistance. So maybe you're going for like the 15-15 and light resist. You just don't
Sorry
care
for
that it has
the
evasion.
sorry for the rant.
No, you're good. I feel the same way, man. Because then actually no,
agree.
that would be good design actually, because you could do the dodge version, make your +5, right? You got your dodge item. Then you can have this shield version, which when you have a raid, you can get. Sometimes we get a free version as you level up, a +3 or something like that on the way up. Not always. I don't know if this one has it or not. But you can't normally make 2 +5s. So you would have your +5 dodge, and then you could just make a +0 shield that has useful defense and spirit, and you get the light resist regardless of what the plus level is. That sounds like better game design to me, but that's not the case here. We just get these like middling values that, yeah, it's so frustrating. Like, but anyway, Locke, what are you thinking on this? I
I
assume you just
totally
touched.
agree. Like I don't understand why they made these values that are just so low that you don't really consider it. Like if like, as you just said, if the Vital had like enough HP that I would actually consider it, like 800 HP or something, then I would be like, yeah, this is an interesting item because usually cloth armor doesn't have 800 HP, right? So that's actually something that I might consider. But at these values, yeah, probably make one or if not two evade ones, like just the dodge, the dodge version of it. Yeah.
So Leo, after that shit fest we just pulled out, what would you like what like kind of what would you use the shield version for? You said you mess around with it, but like what are you thinking to mess around with it?
No, I was saying sometimes I want a shield because if I want to use a TMR that doesn't have no good defensive or spirit capabilities, and maybe I want to survive one hit from a particular enemy type, like but I also want to have a slight chance to dodge because some characters they have like good luck values where they maybe be able to dodge, like Engelbert. Engelbert could dodge, like he could actually dodge, but he don't have no good equipment that could support that. So maybe I just want to have like a shield version just so I could maybe have a slight chance to dodge on certain characters like Bankrid. He also got a decent luck value. Um, and if I'm facing against maybe a person that have terrible accuracy, like one character that comes to mind.
Miranda.
Yeah, like, no good
Adira.
dexterity or luck,
Yeah.
and maybe I could be able to dodge one or two hits uh, from that. But also, I want to use a TMR that don't really have no good capabilities. Like I don't know if you've seen the new demon chick TMR that recently came out. She don't have no defense or spirit on her TMR, but she got a pretty decent ability. Like it's a pretty decent ability. Depends on the situation, but at the same time, I don't want to leave my characters, defenseless. When I'm using certain TMRs, that's not, a lot of characters, a lot of people don't use. So
Yeah,
that's
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 fair.
that's one reason why I would build a shield.
And I think you segue us perfectly into talking about Ibara. So that demon chick, which I did see. Yeah, she's not going to be affected by human killer, man eater, whatever the version of that you have. Because yeah, first demon character, which is interesting. Cost 100 lightning unit. So who ended up pulling for her? I did the whole 3-step thing. Go up, get my prism ticket. Also my excuse to just do a pull here and there. To be quite honest. So I did my 3, didn't get her, but Leo, you said you went for it, right?
Yeah, this is the worst pull I ever had in probably the
Ooh.
whole year. Like I spent over 50K Vizier trying to pull her. Yeah, I did the whole paid busier steps 3 times, missed every single time. And then I said, all right, let me do I think she was on a chance on a 2K step. So I was like, all right, let me try to see if I could get lucky with the 2K. Didn't happen. I went to the 9K step. Didn't happen. Then I went to long steps with her normal banner pull, and it was only a 5% chance. And I was just sitting there like, oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, I had 80K to start, so but I did not want to blow 80K. I was waiting for the Wind tank to come out soon, and I was like, come on.
Not to mention Golbez.
Wait a
Oh, go.
second. She is she's back to that 5% pity banner.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Oh
terrible.
just
god.
like Elena.
I know.
It was terrible.
Part of my reason why I'm probably not gonna pull.
What a global festival, y'all. Let's go for the
Right?
bring you back to the shit pity. Oh, come on. All right, whatever.
You want to know one thing that made it even worse? At the end, I had
Yes.
over 400 tokens, but you only could buy 100 of her shards. It was terrible. It was terrible. I had 400 some tokens. I was like, wow, what am I supposed to do with all this other, tokens? I maxed out the other characters already. What am I supposed to do with this? I'm
What?
just sitting there. Yep.
They limit the amount.
Bro.
All right. That's just. What else can you get with it? Like gill snappers or something? Like.
I don't think you could do that. I think you could spend on a VC, the limited VCs from the festivals. And that's about it.
Damn. That's not great. Oof.
It-
Well, I'm glad you
I
eventually got her, and I hope that you end up enjoying her though.
feel like a lot of people would still pull for her and did pull for her because she's the first, human she's the first demon, and I guess that's why they can get away with it. So they're, have us back
Yeah.
on this like stupid shit.
I was thinking, so I know you guys aren't really big into Brave Exvius, but like I was thinking she was gonna end up being like Lilith was, and Brave like, just like I don't know if it was Lilith or the other demon, like the Incubus character, but like they're just like these crazy tanks that like you can't kill, and like, you try to kill them and they like retributive strike you or something until you die. I thought she was gonna be something like that, but then I took a look at her skills and I was like, oh, this isn't like that at all. Um, but she's not a bad character. I just wish she wasn't like 100 cost. I can't really justify
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I love the aesthetic and like idea of like the book mage. Like it's just like a trope that I
Right.
really enjoy. And then yeah, having the man eater not apply is really attractive as a PvP player for sure. But wait, so did you pull for her though, Daniel?
I did the usual 3-step for the
Okay.
Awakening Prism. I'm still kind of on the fence about her. I'm trying to rationalize getting her now, with like what we're expecting in the near future.
Right.
I'm almost completely shifted away from being like a paid player to like a free to play player. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of still on the fence.
All right. Do you want to take us through though?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay.
So like Leo was talking about, her TMR is an accessory. Ibara's hairpins, like but it's not like Mediana's hairpin or whatever, where it's like an armor piece. No, this is just an accessory. It's interesting because it increases magic up to 100% at max. But it's only for 1 turn. Also increases move by 1 for 1 turn. I really wish the magic was like 150, like Gilgamesh's TMR is, like this helmet. I think that'd be pretty cool. And like the move +1 is, I don't know, maybe comparable to like the chance to CT up. It's only 1 cast. It's only 24 TP. So it might be like that niche, like you really need to get that extra move like right before you get like a double quicken off or something.
The quicken bomb tool, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, basically. She gets the nice, like the lightning ally buffs, HP and lightning attack. Acquired AP up 30 on her master ability. That's kind of nice because you can stack it with like a passive maybe. And she gets innate AoE resistance 10. Her stats aren't really that bad. Her base agility is only like 55, so she's not like the fastest mage. she's just kind of an average speed for mages. She gets a nice 20% magic res, and for some reason she has 15% pierce res. 10 missile resistance is always helpful on a mage. Could be higher, but 10's better than 5 or 0 or negative. -5 / -10 striking. So yeah, she's definitely focused on piercing and magic res. It's nice that she pretty much can't get disabled. She has disable resistance 50. Confusion resistance 50 is nice. Like, I don't know if we're going to see Agrius pop up again and she ever gets like 120. And she is a random frostbite 10%. So it makes it even harder to frostbite her because all the frostbite like procs that I've seen are like base 25%. So that knocks it down to 15% base. So that obviously helps her, especially as a mage where like you need to hang on to your AP. You guys have any notes about her stats at all?
No notes about her stats, but I do have a note about one of her moves, one of her
Yeah.
jobs.
All right.
Uh,
Yeah.
I was just a little disappointed with the Blade Soul job, just because she didn't get the magic shield. I don't know if y'all used the when I think his name is Baruch or
Baruch, yeah.
yeah, she didn't get the magic shield. Well, I thought she was gonna probably get, and she didn't get the mortal spirit. Now I wasn't too mad about the mortal spirit because I feel like a lot of characters have that already. Like we've seen that already. Um, but I was kind of disappointed that she didn't get the magic shield to, maybe defend against Helena's LB or future units coming. Especially when we're gonna have I'm guessing in the future we're probably gonna have more Earth mages. So when we go see them, like we ain't gonna have no shield to protect, like the 3,500 extra HP shield. But because I thought the way the developers was saying that you could either pick the Blaze Soul job to defend against magic, or you could pick the Paladin job to defend against physical attacks. So I was expecting to see the shields because we got the Saintly Wall for the physical attacks, but we didn't get the shield version for you know Blade Soul. So that was kind of disappointing because we don't really see Blade Soul too much.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a little disappointing on that.
I bet you'd rather have her have like Spellblade because they get like magic barrier, they get the resist
Right,
magic.
Spellblade would have been nice, yeah.
Yeah,
Blade
like
Soul
I guess you defend against magic by debuffing their magic.
and higher accuracy.
That's about it.
You don't really get a guaranteed hit.
Yeah.
and that's another thing too. I was even thinking about, even if she have her TMR, it was kind of weird to me because I know we're facing a lot of evasion, and she don't have no sure hit abilities, and that's gonna be make it or break it. So either we're gonna use her how we use the Fire 100 unit, Glacialia. I can never pronounce the name right,
Yeah,
but
you got it right, Glacial.
so we're gonna have to probably put on the Alexandrite ring on her because how else can she hit the evade units that's gonna be coming around? Like that's gonna be very big to determine if she's gonna be good or not, because that's what we're mostly gonna be facing. It's good that her VC got a 35 dex, but so far we don't see no good accuracy. I won't even say that. No luck accuracy, no luck stat on a VC for lightning units yet. So
Yeah, and she doesn't really have that great of base dex or luck. Her dex is 215 and her luck is 168. So yeah, definitely gonna be suffering, I think. For a cost 100 unit, like if you look at the other cost 100 units, like Elena has Immortal Spirit. Zasan obviously has Fake Death and Immortal Spirit. I mean, I guess Gilgamesh, he does his own thing, and for Ivy, she does her thing, but yeah, it hurts that she doesn't have a guaranteed hit, nor like the courage from Paladin. But I mean, like she can kind of serve as like a tanky mage with Paladin sub, but like Blade Soul feels more of like an offensive pick where like you're gonna like lean on like the higher accuracy like skill. and hope it works, or just really have to focus, like you said, Alex Ring, and like like Typhon or Ramu for like the accuracy Esper or something. I want to bring it back to like her main job skills or well, actually like support or
I guess
passive
I'll
reaction
sum real
and stuff.
quick then, just to bounce off, since it'll be based on what he was saying. The only thing I will say about the not having the sure hit or anything to deal with evade is that she's already, so right now evade kind of revolves around mono earth. I mean, there's some light as well, which you'd have to deal
Yep.
with if there's like an Elena team, but there's not typically a triple evade light team unless I'm mistaken.
Lightning.
No light
Oh, okay.
for evade, right? There's Elena, like Engelbert can evade, but like there's no third unit, right?
Rob Vistral.
Rob
Oh,
evade.
Rob. Okay, that's fair.
And then Warrior Light is known to evade. I use them.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely have seen that. Well, what I was gonna say is most of the time when we see it, especially in our like live PvP realm, it's mono Earth. She's already gonna be getting pretty shredded by Earth, being a lightning unit. So, kind of doubling down on the weakness to like shore up other strengths is something that I'm generally a fan of. So like you
Right.
you have your very clear like this is just a bad matchup for me. So you can focus elsewhere is nice. But being a cost 100 unit, it'd be nice to have a sure hit somewhere to kind of just make sure you're more well rounded. But anyway, yeah, take us back into the abilities.
Yeah, so she has some pretty interesting like the rest of her kit is interesting. Like all of her passives are like, man, I can see myself running all of these
Yep.
instead of like the equipment thing I was talking about, or like the shop thing I was talking about, where it's like, why have these? Looking at you, cleric job. Um, so like she gets passive that just increases her human killer. She can stack a spirit and HP, or defense and HP, or agility and spirit pen, or like like she gets the magic level 1 passive, but it's better because it's also lightning attack. It's called Prayers of Humankind. I think that's pretty cool. I like the names for these. It's a very like part of her theme is like she's this entity that was given human shape and form, not really consciousness because she was like watching for like a long time or whatever. But because of like the prayers, the prayer scrolls or whatever, people visiting her shrine or something like that. So I like the names of these skills. Um, her She gets a magic evade. She gets like a paladin's guard. That's a really nice thing about having paladin sub job. I'm not really a big fan of the blade soul like preemptive revenge, but it's an interesting dynamic. I don't really think it's going to be that relevant as a mage. It's range 1, so like it's for people that come into melee range, kind of like in a Gilgamesh. And I think it's actually the same chance to counter as Gilgamesh. It's 30%, just like the Aeon Bond and fucking, I don't know, counter smoke or something. But okay, so main job, she gets this weird, it's called shrill laughter. She's just base 25% chance to stun and across AoE, and like range 3. Interesting range height and AoE height, but it's still just like, I mean, you're gonna see maybe a coin flip like max chance. I don't know. Maybe it'll be helpful against people that are somehow like, I don't know, vulnerable to stun or something. It's kind of weird. She gets the basic like low damage 6 cast ability, so for 12 AP. So like if you're running low on AP, you can bank on that for like a couple turns. She has this interesting it's
Range
called,
2 though, man. Range
yeah,
2.
range 2. Izayoi, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't have her, so like there's this increased mod, but like having one of the like having an effect on it, but um War Division Calc isn't really that great at describing what that is. So but it's a really high, it's 200 damage mod on that. So range 4, range height 1, it's like a little bit weaker like jamming thrust. But if you get that increased mod on that, it feels like the um, pugilist increased mod kind of dynamic. You get
I would
the
assume it's gonna be a debuff, right? Like it's gonna be like
yeah,
attacker magic down, kind of like
right,
the Shell's EX doing more if you're imperiled,
yeah, especially
based on
like,
her other abilities.
yeah, Blade Soul. She gets like a burst. Yeah, her LB. She gets a burst AOE. It's called Demonic Wail. It gets upgraded to Wailing Storm, where it's the Imperil. Basically the upgrade increases the damage from like minimum to like small. So every little bit helps for like a burst AOE effect like that. I think the Imperil is like kind of half of the pushing the weight on that skill. Really interesting spiritual possession skill. Increases magic attack and magic res pen. So that's I'm thinking you're probably going to want to use that like every like match or combat or whatever. It upgrades to the Fall of Night, where it's not just magic attack and magic res pen, but also human killer 25. So yeah, just fucking crazy. And this 3 casts at 28 TP. So you're going to be able to pretty much use that. I don't know, in like a guild battle or something where like it's a war of attrition. Like you still be able to use that on like the second battle or something. And their job 25 skill, Lightning Shroud, 200 mod damage and restore CT by 20. So that's pretty cool. Like the cross AOE is kind of nice. Range height 2, up to like 4 squares away basically. So it's not quite jamming thrust range. But it's basically the restore CT 20 it's like you move and attack, but it restores CT to the point where it's like you stood still and attacked, or you moved and didn't attack. I know you guys are familiar with the kind of CT advantage you can get by like not moving and just attacking or whatever. So this can kind of edge her. It can kind of make up for the fact that she's so slow. I don't know. But I do like the idea that like you're restoring enough CT so that like it's almost like you didn't move or didn't attack. So like, getting an edge over your opponent that maybe moved and attacked.
And to note, all these are instant casts, which is really nice as a mage as well.
Yeah.
But they're almost all reflectable, so there's that.
You got me.
I'm just gonna skip real fast to her LB, which is interesting. It's another Lightning Imperil, up to 38%. It's a 200 damage mod. It's like a jamming. It's an upgraded jamming thrust, basically. Range 5, range height 2. This is the first kind of break that we've seen that affects Dex and Luck, and these are really weird like percentages. Like Agi, attack, magic, dex, and luck. Agi's 10% at max. Attack and magic are at 18. Dex and luck are at 12. Like it's this weird hybrid like full break kind of thing. What do you guys think about that?
Cool for setups. With her TMR, it'd be interesting to see if she can like do some kind of hairpin buff into like LB, get quickened, and then nuke somebody like for massive amounts of damage or something, because it gets the Imperil into something else. So like do that and then end it with the Lightning Shroud or something, and then get the CT back to kind of follow up after a little faster. Be interesting to see. But then again, she also, the Fall of Night's insane, 50 mods, so like you may just do that instead instead of TMR, depending on your movement, I guess. But interesting.
It's kind of like
a lot of AP.
I feel like you can kind of underestimate her. Leo, are you looking forward to using her at all? Like, have you looked at her stuff?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to using her. I'm gonna be pairing her with Alex for sure because I don't like to miss. But her LB though does stand out because it lowers luck, especially for characters that will have a harder time to hit some real evade units. Just her using that, and if she lands on them, will lower their evasion down a little bit to for have a chance for other characters to start opening attacks, especially maybe let's say maybe you're using like a character like Engelbert and you just need somebody to run up and smack somebody who just use courage, who got a courage thing on, you just want to kill them. And, I mean I like her LB. I don't feel like she's too overpowered, but I feel like she's well done. Like her whole kit. I feel like she's gonna be very powerful because I look at her passives, the Man Eater, and I feel like in all she's gonna be very powerful. It's gonna be good to see, especially in the next couple months when we get the Crystal Warriors, where she gonna be placed at. Yeah, I feel like she's gonna be good all around.
I think she's definitely gonna be like a staple in PvE at least because of all the lightning pen and stuff.
It's also nice to she has base 4 defense and spirit off of her board as well. So like that coupled with her passives of the spirit and defense there, she gets 24% HP total between the two with 12 and so she'll end up with 16 defense, 16 spirit, and that's before you think about, guild statues and equipment and all that. So she can kind of have like that little bit of a like we talk a lot about how defense pen kind of like invalidates a lot of like stacking defense up, but when you have like middling values of like 15 to 20 range, like it's at least a little bit of a cushion because the defense pen isn't so impactful that like I'm relying on this defense being high, I'm not going to take damage, and then you just get shredded. She's just like, I'm going to mitigate some and be able to focus elsewhere just because this is like on my passives. Like having that little bit, like 40% of 20 is, whatever, 8. So you go down to 12. So you don't feel the difference as much, and but you still get the benefit of your offense elsewhere. I kind of like that softening. Obviously it's better to just have more, but as kind of a auxiliary bonus, it's kind of nice. Man, Blade Soul Lore looking real good though. 12% agility, 40 spirit pen.
I do have to say one thing about one of her Blade Soul moves, which I'm interested in. I like the move that you could remove all debuffs. You could debuff the opponents. Like if they buff your, their let's say for hate regeneration or whatever, you could take the hate away. So for characters like Engelbert, if they got that hate up, you could take it away, and then your other characters go focus on some of the weaker background fighters, and take them out until he regenerate his hate. So I like that move.
Yeah,
What is her dex like?
It's like 215, I think it was the base.
I'd say just because you do have to crit for these, so I wonder if like how impactful that crit rate buff on that sub job would be for these effects. Imagine also Brave Breaker just randomly, like if you can run up to somebody and just like if you pop a crit and you decrease bravery by 40, that is such a massive damage loss for them. It's so insane. Like, oof, that'd be
It's really good
backbreaking.
Unit too. I like that move versus unit.
Yeah, it's so it's
yeah.
like it's not even like the fucking dragon roar, like the stupidly low chance to affect. It's like whispers like LB. It just happens. I mean, like in this case, you need a crit or whatever. But yeah, I don't think people really pay attention to that.
Dude, when I've told the story on the podcast a long time ago, but if you guys remember Brian, my friend that I got into the cast, I told him about the whole chicken mechanic. Like if you get below certain bravery, like you turn to a chicken. I'm like, here, let me show you. I went into a match, and this was before any of these like guaranteed ones existed, and I tried to use fucking what's it called, the dragon, the dragoon one,
Yeah.
Dragon's Roar. I had 3 units with Dragon's Roar. I spammed all. I think each one can do it 3 times or 3 or 4 times. I spammed all of their copies on his units, and he just like skipped turns, let me do it in a friendly duel. I could not get him to become a chicken because the chance was so low, and it was because it was on 3 units too. So I had a chance on all of them to hit each one, and 9, 12 casts, whatever it was, couldn't get him into a chicken. It took I think it took 2 matches to get there.
I remember like watching that stream at the time.
Oh, was I streaming that?
Yeah.
Jesus. Anyway, sorry. Super aside.
But yeah, I think that kind of wraps it up for Ibara.
Well,
Lock.
I was just gonna say 2 abilities on her main job, sub job, right? So she gets an AP buff for herself, so it's just restore 15 AP.
Mm-hmm.
With her passive, I don't know. You could have given her a different buff, and you'll just make it cost more TP. And then yeah, transposition is the other one. Just called Spirited Away.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting Easter egg for like Studio Ghibli reference. Spirited Away.
Is it? Do you think it's directly related to that, or?
I think it's inspired, but
sure.
I can't prove it. But she's base jump 1, and she doesn't have any like jump. She'd need like Katone TMR to like Shadow Realm somebody.
I forgot. Shadow Realm was such a hilarious strat. Is Transpo height 3 as well? I'm looking real quick, but
I don't think so.
Oh, it is. So yeah,
is it?
It's literally Transpo.
That's a weird height.
It's helpful though. Yeah, Locke, thoughts?
I mean, I kind of want to say that, in general, like we're getting all these new units, and like the new thing about them is that they just have like a different combination of things that are already existing, right? Like we're not really getting any new mechanics, which kind of sucks. Like I think there's like so much room to go with it. Like we can have like some unit with like a life steal, like a global life steal, where like 30% of any healing on the board is removed from them and given to this unit. Like that would just change the game completely, right? And it would like actually make it like so much more fun than what we have now. Like people are excited that they're like, oh, we have this with this buff that gives you magic attack, magic resistance, penetration, and human killer, which is fair. Like we haven't seen a buff like that powerful before. At the same time, it's like all stuff that really exists. It's not anything new. So I'm just like kind of disappointed that I'm like, oh yeah, we're getting this new demon unit. And that in itself is new, I guess, because we don't have any demon units. But like the mechanics behind it, I'm a bit disappointed that we're just not getting new stuff. But anyway, that's just kind of like a rant, I guess. Nothing to do particularly with this unit, but um, I think it's a cool unit, and I also feel like I'm not sure if it's worth the 100 cost. I think one thing that would have might have redeemed it a little bit was if the limit burst, like all those breaks, if it applied before the damage, I think that would have at least given it like some more like extra
Yeah.
utility, right? Like you can use it against evade to remove their, or not remove, but lower their X and Lux so that somebody else can hit it, something like that. I think something like that would have made it a lot better, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, she's fine. I think she's okay. I think one of her main, like, if I was going to use her, I think one of the main things that I would use her would probably be around the Wailing Storm ability, which has the lightning resist of 30% down. Sorry, decreased lightning resist of 30% down in that huge AOE, followed by like barrages or like clouds like two hit. So I
That's
I I
crazy.
think that's how I would play this, and I think that also might be a little bit of way to offset the guaranteed hit, that she doesn't have a guaranteed hit, because like both Frederica and Cloud have like enough guaranteed hit that if she uses this first, and even if she does no damage, that lightning resistance 30% I think would be significant enough that it would still contribute enough to 8 comps. But still, I feel like she's missing just a little bit to be worth that 100 cost to make it a must pull.
Hey, at least on the Paladin sub, she doesn't have Saintly Cross.
That's I was gonna say that.
Anybody would have been turning that off.
No Saintly Wall, just give us the cross instead. The AoE physical damage. Yeah. Any other
You're,
thoughts on the unit before we get into the VC?
You laugh now, but we're gonna talk about Rafale.
And we're
and
not talking
his-
about her today because she's not actually released, and I'm pissed. The selection quest was there. You open it up, it's blank. I want that unit. It's not here yet,
her
and I don't want to talk about it.
guaranteed hit Saintly Cross.
Listen, man,
Oh, that's nice.
And it
So-
doesn't cost as much as Saintly Cross because she's an assassin, and it's fantastic.
You gonna go get into Wish Upon a Demon?
Yeah, we'll just run through this real quick. So 289 HP, decent. 174 magic, that is on the semi higher end, right? 3 agility, love to see it. Then the rest of it is all lightning units with a little bit of a bonus for Ibara in particular. For any lightning unit that equips it, they get human killer 5, and then they get spirit penetration 20. Pretty good combination. Then if you are Ibara, you get acquired AP 30%, which is really nice for their passive. I think that puts it to what, 50% total?
Yeah, something like that.
And then also she gets increased magic by 20%. Also just, always good there. It makes you feel better about maybe not picking the magic passive if you wanted the other stuff. In terms of the party abilities, here's the AoE resist 20 for lightning units, so that's pretty sweet. And then we also have the kind of secondary stat of magic attack at 18. And then when you max it, you get the 35% dex. So that box has also been checked off for lightning now. Pretty good. Anybody have particular notes about it that aren't immediately, kind of available at surface check? Yeah, what's any? Then we'll go to Leo.
I was gonna give Leo a chance.
Oh, Leo.
So the first thing that I like about the VC was the AoE resist. I actually had used the VC. I didn't use the character, but I used the VC today in guild battle, and Cloud and Charlotte, they was withstanding some heavy attacks from Elena and Jaden.
Nice,
It was
dude.
quite impressive. Like I gave Cloud another AOE armor, and he was just sitting there, just he only died until Jaden jammer thrust him, which is a single target hit.
Ooh,
But
yep.
all the AOE attacks they was coming their way, they was still surviving. I was quite surprised. I had like, I think they had like a chain of 4 or 5 hits on me, and I was still alive. I was like, what the hell? But the
God
Dexter,
damn.
the decks, I like the decks on from certain characters. Specifically, I think I got my Charlotte to over like 400 dexterity or something like that. So I know that increased her accuracy and her critical rate by a good amount. So she was able to hit even Elena. I don't know if it was a full evade Elena, but she was I think she had some evade, but she was able to hit her, which was impressive to me. Because before she was always, missing. But other stuff about the VCs, the magic and all the other stuff, I mean, that comes with every single magic card, so it just powers her up. All around, I think it's gonna be a good card for when we have the double VCs in the future.
Yeah, so
Sweet.
to me, like putting this on on Ibara, puts her spirit pen up to 60 just on from this and her passive, and her acquired AP up to 60 as well. She gets 30 from her mastery and 30 from the bestowed effect on this. So that's already crazy. Like anything above like I don't know 40 or 50 or whatever is just like that's stands out to me. Another thing that kind of stands out is like the Dex 35 on a mono element. Um, so Dex really helps missile attackers. So like Fred and Nivlu are really gonna like having the extra Dex. Like I'm pretty sure it's gonna push them. I don't know,
And
like
Cloud.
high. Well, yeah, but like high 400 to like over 500 Dex. It's not that hard to get that and get to that right now, and we haven't even seen this really get used. So yeah, that's just crazy. Like, so because like Dex is like their main attack stat, so it's going to increase their damage. I'm not going to say you want to like prioritize this over like straight up attack, like plus 50, like lightning attack up, like man killer on physical attack or whatever. But it's still a nice option, at least for like 5-man parties for like PVE or something. Or like, are we looking at like guilds or like some kind of PvP with like 5 or 6? I don't know. Not the pickup match, but yeah. So like it's got like that. You don't really consider the dex as like a damage stat, but it works that way for missile users. So that's pretty cool.
It's actually most units get it. Just I think missile gets more, but like
Yeah,
even
yeah,
black mages get like 10% of their dex
yeah.
towards their total magic value.
So yeah, it's kind of nice. I really like you said, like the magic and the agility, like just the straight up stats on this card. The fact that it's cost 70 instead of cost 90 or something.
Right.
It's kind of nice.
I still do want to see more, like, although the cost hurts, I would like to see more VCs with abilities again. Because, like, there's for a little while there where we were getting them and they were kind of changing the way you could
Yeah.
compose some of your teams. Not always, but I'm kind of surprised they haven't given us more of those, especially given the fact that the CMs have all been, like, our cost restricted content has been based on unit cost. So like they could easily sell you on this more powerful VC with a higher cost, and you could still use it in all this other content. It doesn't like limit you. Yeah, it just surprises me. But yeah, I guess the last thing, unless anyone has notes about that, would be her weapon, and I am going to call it her weapon because this is a book that has a split magic and lightning attack by 10 each. So it is an upgrade for a lightning book cast unit over the other book we have, but that's it. So
That magic stat though.
it is 192. That's pretty nice. 8 accuracy. Meh, it's all right. The 13 attack, I mean, sure, I guess if you want to hate with your blade bash, but like, just- I don't know, man. Take the attack off and give us like half fit magic. Just put it to a clean 200 magic. I don't know.
It's actually not that much higher than the lunar tome. It's the magic type is like 186 magic.
You know,
And
sorry.
magic attack 15.
You know what would have been a good design? Set this very clearly for her. Move that accuracy to crit. Give it like 15 or 20 crit also.
Yeah, I think
Like, because then it would synergize with her
Blade Soul.
her Blade Soul, yeah. Easy. Super attractive. Yep. Anyway, yeah. Any other thoughts on either class match that you thought of during the rest of the thing, or Ibara, Leo?
Not really. I feel like as more units come out in the future, we're gonna get a lot more different type of matches for class match. I know everybody's looking at the new exclusive units that's in JP right now. That's going to come out to global eventually in the future. It's gonna be exciting to be honest. I know a lot. We probably see a lot of light compositions and, as you could say, the Keen Blade strategies for manual play, and I feel like in the future it's gonna be a lot more diverse. Especially when we get Gobes and you know some other strong fire bow user, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. And we just gotta hold out for now. Seeing a lot of same compositions, because I feel like as soon as some people start losing to a certain composition a lot, uh, you know, everybody started turning to that one composition. Just like how everybody was using the dark composition for Dwayne, Helena, and put in third dark unit. I don't know, but yeah, I feel like as the months gone by, it's gonna expand. I'm very the past couple I've been experimenting with a new wind unit recently, and she's actually very pretty good. I was kind of surprised. I took it to a free match, and I've been chucking spears at people for over 8,000 damage. So I was like, I was blown away, to be honest. I think I did that to what unit I did that to? I did that to Killfei, the light Killfei. Uh, and I chucked a spear at her for 8,000 damage, and I didn't think I was gonna kill her. I was like, "What?" you know. So I was kind of surprised by that. I
Some
yeah, it was crazy. But I feel like as we get further in the global community, as the game goes on, we're gonna get a lot of more exclusive units that might change up the gameplay, substantially. I'm thinking maybe in my predictions, I'm thinking we're probably gonna get maybe. I feel like we're gonna get a fire unit soon. I don't know why, but I feel like fire units kind of been on the back burner a little bit. Um, I feel like we're just gonna get like a fire unit that's just gonna blow everybody's minds away, and it's gonna be like,
That archer one, right? That range one,
well,
another
besides,
cost 100 fire.
yeah, I feel like it's gonna be at least a 90, like how they got the wing unit, for this lower author for the win. I feel like we're gonna get something for fire one day. Like it's gonna probably be another season event or something, but I don't know. I feel like something's gonna come.
Man, you describing that spear chuck like made me think of some like Final Destination shit or something. Like it just comes out of nowhere and just like spears her right.
That thing got some range on it. I was like,
Yeah, range height 5 too.
yeah. I felt like she was a gunner.
Pierce damage gunner. I mean, pierce damage would make sense, right? Bullets do pierce.
Yeah.
There's something I noticed about Ibara's basic attack. Actually, it's a 2 range attack.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
like
kind of cool.
Scholar. Scholars have the same thing. It's 2 range magic, right?
Very.
I haven't really played Scholars.
Yeah, Locke. Duh. No,
any like I guess she's like
any book users, I guess, right?
Yeah, book users.
Yeah, man. Luel. The day I realized that, I think I realized it by accident. Like I was just playing, had no idea, and I was just like, how to attack, and then I saw the range, like, oh, step backs to keep range, like boom, hit with the magic.
Hard out, Killfei.
Yeah.
So my last thoughts are just I mean, it sucks that CM was this week instead of like earlier or like last month or whatever. But so happy holidays, you guys. Thanks for tuning in as always. We appreciate it. You know, Merry Christmas, Merry Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Solstice, New Year's, you know, whatever.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
thanks
is you
for
gonna
tuning in.
try to go for all of them? I was gonna say, like,
I don't
I
know
was
if
gonna
I'm
say happy
sending
holidays and leave it.
fucking like Boxing Day or something. I don't know.
Festivus for the rest of us.
But yeah, cheers, guys. Like, it means a lot for you guys tuning in. I appreciate it. Oh, you know, we appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all.
Lock. Good.
Yeah. Have fun.
Right.
Happy holidays. Don't get too burnt out, you know.
Cover me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Um,
All right. We have been Let's Talk Tactics. I was your host, Zach Burrell.
I've been Daniel Bloom.
Good luck.
Leozhontai.
And thank you for watching.